Hi guys, this is Adam with Adrenaline Cycles coming at you with a video today of a long-awaited build we've been working on here at the shop. As you can see behind me here, this is a 2022 X3 XRS Smart Shock, but we put the Raptor truck body on this from FIBERWERX out in Las Vegas. So we've seen a couple of these machines online, very few, very rare, and none of them really go in depth on what they built or how they built, just some steel shots. So this is a two-part video. This first one here, we're going to walk around it, show you the completed project. The second part of the video will be the more in-depth. The body will be off, and we'll be discussing and showing you guys what in detail it takes to be able to build this machine, and how we got to the finished product we're at here in the first video. So as always, make sure you guys like and subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for the second video part on this Raptor truck when it's you know, the body's off and you can see the inner structure and all the workings in that. But before we worry about the second part of the video, let's talk about the first part. As you've seen here, Josh is going around giving you guys some looks and things like that. The biggest thing when you do a Raptor truck fiberglass body on these things is it extends the front end and it extends the bedside on this. I'll get out of the way here. And you have to figure out a way to mount that, and also figure out a way to take and you know, make everything look good and have bumpers and things like that, because you want to be able to protect your machine inherently, whether it's a stock X3 or a built X3 like this with the body on it. Like I said, it is a 200 horsepower machine with the P drive, so that's, you know, a really good starting base. All the body panels, front and back, bed, bedsides, hood, all the fascia and everything goes away. Headlights, taillights, all that goes away. So you really got to start coming up with, you know, lighting options and things like that. For us, we like to go with Baja Designs. They're really good lights. We've run them for years now. And so we got the XL80 Pros up top for a high beam. And then we got the single row S2s for a low beam. And being a Raptor truck and being the truck theme that it is, well, you got to have a turn signal kit. So we got turn signals integrated here into our bumper, and then also on the side here to make sure we get you know, all the street legal stuff you need and people can see you when you are out on the road. Some other things we had a front end fabricated up. In the other video you'll see all the inner structure, but you know, obviously you got to have a winch, so we got a winch mount made into this thing. And then from there we have a dimple die on each side to give it a little bit more of a custom look, and just to help you know, things, you know, flow a little more air instead of just being a big air dam on the front of this, because it is going to catch a lot of air, being, you know, a big fiberglass hood, a lot larger than it would be on a normal X3. Here you'll see the mounting holes where we've mounted the hood structure down to our, you know, inner skeleton or inner workings. So that's what these little button head screws are, with rubber grommets to help, you know, isolate vibration and things like that on the body mounts that attach to the chassis. We mimicked the Raptor hood here with the like the 2018 style, you know, fins here, whatever you want to call them. So we got that on there. Coming back, we'll look at the tires. These are 33 1015 XC450s. We wanted they're on a 15-inch rim and they're KMCs, and they do have an offset. We don't typically like to run an offset on a 72-inch machine, but the Raptor body is wider than a traditional X3. So to fill that wheel well out and make that, you know, just look proportionate, we did do an offset of a 4.3 on this setup, and we've always had good luck with KMCs. The tire's fairly new for us to be using, but we liked how it had a truck tire feel, but yet still was aggressive enough. You could go out and you know, rock crawl with it. You can get out in the hard packed and do the things you need to do, and it'll even perform decent in the mud when you got 200 horsepower pushing you around. The winch, we did go with a 5,000 pound on this. Our standard KFI ASSUALT winch is really nice, synthetic rope, all the good stuff went on this machine. So that's under there as well. You can't see it, it's all tucked in underneath the hood. The radiator is specially mounted, so it's got another guard on front of it to help protect it. So if anything come in or around or through the grill, it's really protected. On the front here, I don't know if Josh can show you, we do have a UMHD skid plate on the lower part of the bumper. Again, like I said, where that body's extended out from the front of a normal X3, we really wanted to make sure it was protected and that it would have the longevity and just the durability that you would hope to have from a really high-end machine. Coming on back, we'll talk about the middle chassis here. Some of the things you'll see, again, we got more grommets mounting the roof down on this machine. We got our glass windshield, which is DOT glass in it. And we also went on ahead and put a wiper on there as well. With the wiper, you know, that's just a no-brainer. So it's got the water and stuff with it. It is a BRP wiper with our windshield. Typically, the BRP reservoir will mount under the front here, under the hood. We did not mount it there. We relocated it and put it behind the passenger seat. And you have access there to refill your water tank so you can keep water and keep cleaning your windshield. So that's just little things you guys gotta, you know, think about, and little things we've done to make it trick, because nobody wants to pull the hood off to put water in your washer tank. So that's something we relocated and made it really nice, and I'll show you guys that as we get on into the buggy. And as you can see here, this sits down really nice onto the windshield and looks really good. And the windshield's bolted in at the top and the bottom, really nice. We'll come on back here and we'll talk about the doors a little bit. With the door being on here, this was probably our most problematic part of the process. And just because you don't see this out there, you don't know. So you got to extend the frame here, and what we done was really standard. We just got plates bolted to the door with, you know, standoffs is what I call them, and then it's bolted to the fiberglass door. And what that does is you have to have that standoff to get your body, you know, equal with the door. If not, it'd be, you know, 3 or 4 inches in. So we done that. Another thing we wanted to do is take and put a nice door latch on here. This is the BRP you know, add-on door handle, so you got a nice metal latch, good firm grip on it to open the door. Obviously we couldn't put the outside door handle on because of the gap, but again, we didn't want to break up that look. It works really well, and you're not pulling that cheesy red strap. I mean, that thing kills me, you know. Even on the other machines, as high-end as these things are portrayed, you need the nice latch. So we just put that on there because that's something we really liked and wanted, and it's just a firm grip. These door handles, the owners run them on every buggy he's had, and they work out great. So we just put them on this model. And like I said, you can still run a door bag, upper door bag, if the customer chooses that. And they can have that option as well. And another reason we went with this is in case, instead of welding it on, we've seen a lot of other guys weld these brackets on and things like that. With us bolting that on there, that gives you the option in case the customer or owner did have an impact or something and broke this inner door frame, or whatever happens, is it gives you the option you can unbolt that from the door frame and bolt it right onto your new door frame that comes in the mail. So we're trying to, as we're building this, to make it somewhat serviceable as well, because we want people to ride these machines. We don't never build anything to sit in the garage at the house. I mean, this stuff is built to, you know, what we would want to take out in the woods and put it through its paces. So that's why we've done that. Like I said, the doors are really the toughest part with the offset and not really knowing what we was doing, which we come up with a great solution. And then just the limit of how it opens is really an issue as well. But as you look down below here, we do have a rock slider. It's really on there to give it extra protection and protect that body, you know, and get you around trees, rocks, anything like that, and really protect that body. And the body is actually mounted to it as well. This is not the normal way we mount tree bars, as you'll see in the second video. I'll go in depth to show you that, but it's securely mounted in a bunch of points here, a lot more than normal through BRP mounting locations. We do use some of those, but with the body being out so far, and if we didn't triangulate it in some spots, we were really afraid it would roll on up and it would just cause more damage. So it's really braced, really triangulated, and it's really got a lot of stuff going on there. Coming on back, as you can see, we pushed it back as far as we could to get as close to the rear tire without, you know, interfering or having any contact there. As you can see here, we went on ahead and attached a whole rear end that we had fabbed up here, and this takes the place of basically the rear bed supports that go down to the bed, because we've done away with the whole bed in the back. Some cool things about the body is it has all these contours, which are really, really nice, And then we added the graphic, you know, instead of it saying Raptor here, obviously this is a Maverick, so we wanted to have that Maverick on there, and then the splash, and then obviously our decals, you know, you got Fox and then us, and then CT Works and Baja Designs. And we'll talk about the CT stuff here in just a second. I just want to go around the body first, guys. But we wanted to have that look of a Raptor truck, which the body does give it that, and then with the decals here, it does give it that. With the hood, it does give it that. But being a Can-Am, and you know, we wanted to have like that throwback retro look. So I was looking online, and a lot of late 70s dirt bikes they had, you know, Can-Am had, you know, really got them in the on-road or the off-road industry, had the yellow, white, and red, you know, on the gas tanks and on, you know, certain parts of the dirt bike. So we really wanted to carry that theme, the yellow, white, and red over to this. And we think it looks really good. It stands out. We left the red seats on the inside too on this model, which is really nice. And the retractable harnesses work well. We typically don't change those out. And on something like this, we didn't see a need for it either. Like I said, it is a smart shock buggy. So you have that adjustable suspension from the inside, which is really nice. And we did put eye-box springs on this as well. That's something that you really, you know, it's nice to have. And it will take the sag out, because you do add some weight, but we took a lot of weight off too. So all in all, I'd say the car is maybe 3 to probably 500 pounds heavier than it normally is, which if you take that in consideration of people building custom cages, front and back, tube bumpers and everything, it's about the same weight. So it didn't get extremely crazy heavy even with the body, because it's stout, but it's not ridiculously heavy being fiberglass. We'll come on around the back here, and we'll talk some about the back. The biggest thing in the back is, like I said, we took the bed sides off and the bed's all gone. And then, you know, when you got this much more, like I said, you're probably 18 inches past where the normal body would end. So, you know, you got to get that structure down here and get it in. We switched over because the X3 taillight's a big wide one that's like a V. This is a taillight here, and it's a Can-Am OE taillight, so it bolts in, and it takes the factory plug. We modified the, you know, the opening here so we could bolt that on there, so it's part of your street legal kit. It will have taillight, brake light, and also turn signal integrated into that, because we used a Corbin custom kit. But if you guys know what this taillight come out of, it's a new model. I'll tell you that, newer model. 2021 was the first year that this model got a redesign, and post down in the comments, because it's pretty cool. Like I said, I found them, I've had them on back order for a while, and they come in and then we put them in, and like I said, they look really, really good. But leading on in here to the back, and this is left up to your imagination, guys, on this machine. There's really not a lot to go on. We come off the original factory cage up top, because it's all factory up front, and we just added, you know, long tubes down to get past the body here to get to a bumper. Then again, we dimple dyed it, you know, just a tube Baja, you know, style bumper, really, really nice. And, you know, with the Baja type, you know, theme, or, you know, off-roading in general, you know, we know a lot of people like, you know, a spare tire. So we had a rack built here in place of where the traditional muffler would go. And this is holding the spare tire, a 331015, just like what's on the buggy itself. Same rim, everything like that. So it looks really good. It's all mounted in, it ain't going nowhere. And this is where we got to the point to where we could have done a bunch of different things. You know, we could have put just a flat tray in here, could have put expanded metal in here. We could have done a bunch of different things, guys. But at the end of the day, we know Can-Am has, you know, the coolers, the storage boxes, bunch of Q-Link accessories. So we went with, this is off a Outlander ATV, you know, Q-Link rack is what it is. So we mounted it here in the back of the bed. So you have the options to put whatever you want, though, Q-Link into these. And if you don't want to use anything BRP, you still have a bed here that you can strap to or whatever. It's pretty wide open, so if you don't put anything in it, mud and stuff will drop through. Clean up really easy. But like I said, we sell a ton of coolers and different things, and you know, just ease of use and the accessibility of, you know, being able to swap it out quick. Oh, you're going out for a quick ride, or you're going to do whatever, and you're not needing a cooler. Well, it's easy to throw your storage box on here that might have some tools and stuff in it. Or if you're going for a long ride, you can put your cooler on here. Things like that, you know, we took in consideration, and it worked out really, really well. As you can see, a lot of the stuff is triangulated in here just to give it as much strength if there was a rear impact. We got it all bolted down to the bottom of the frame there, so it's extremely strong, and you know, it should hold up for years and years and years. Coming on around, we got an exhaust here. What we went with here, because we obviously put the tire where the factory was, we have a BORLA. It's some kind of BORLA race muffler. It's flow through. It doesn't have any baffles or anything in it. It's just a straight shot, and it sounds really, really good. We deleted the cat delete because nobody needs a cat delete no way. So it sounds really good. I'll try to get a clip of that so you guys can hear that. But again, audio and sound on YouTube and on your computer, really hard to tell, but it does sound good. Some other things we did put into this is we got an air kit in over there, which is really nice to have. Even help cut some of the sound out of the front and the cab. Even on these P drives, you do have a little bit, but it's a lot better. Got a soft rear window in there as well. Again, trying to, you know, make it as trucky as we can. And then we got the speakers that are mounted in the back here, and they're cut out around the window. Let's jump inside and we'll talk a little bit about the interior, and then we'll come back out and I'll go over some of the suspension stuff, guys. All right, guys, inside the Buggy here, we tried to give it as much of a truck feel as you can get. So on the inside, we did wind up putting the MTX audio in here, so it gives you somewhat of, you know, the traditional, you know, stereo in your car. Above that, we have the standard start. Here's your shock stuff, your four-wheel drive stuff, all standard stuff. Over here, you will see we got a horn, and then we got the turn signals on the front and back. And then on this side, we got the wiper controls, and then the winch in and out. And then also we got the headlights. So like we kept the factory headlight switch, we wired everything in. So it's like factory, you just hold it down for a few seconds and it'll turn the lights off. Or if you want to turn them on, you click them on. And if you want to go to high beam, you flick the high beam. It's all integrated into the switch here, so that's pretty cool. So the switches all look good, all look like they're supposed to. In that as well, we got the grab handles on here, because, you know, with the doors being a little harder to open or don't open as far, you know, we wanted to have some grab handles to really help get yourself in and out of these, which I like them anyway on any kind of buggy. Works out really, really well. And that's about it on the inside, guys. We didn't go too crazy because it's still customizable. If they want tablet holders, storage bags, and things like that, we didn't want to get too crazy on the price. So we tried to, you know, work with that. One thing you will notice on the inside here, if Josh can pan up here, the H bar on the X3, we had to replace that. We had to fab one up to fit the roof because the OEM one sticks up too tall and don't let the, you know, fiberglass roof fit. But outside of that, it's pretty stock on the inside, outside the audio, and then, you know, obviously the door handles and grab handles, windshields, and all that. But we didn't go too crazy in here. We figured we'd let that up to the customer to individualize it. Maybe they don't want all that. They're going to take this thing straight out and flog it on a racetrack or something. So we left that option open for the customers. Back outside here, we'll talk about some of the suspension components that we have. As you've seen on there, we do have CT RaceWorks decal on here, and we're a big seller of their stuff. We keep a lot of it in stock. You got to, because it takes so long to get their stuff. And in the second video, like I said, you'll see a lot more detail on this. That's why I'm not really hit it really hard. But it's got boxed A-arms in the front, upper and lower. It's got a bulkhead gusset kit in there as well. It's got the tie rods. We'll pan back here to the back. I'll show you what I keep telling everybody is like the holy grail or the unicorn of CT stuff. We got his trailing arms for the rear for the Smart Shock installed on here, and we've done it in red, as well as, you know, the CT rods in the back, the whole set, uppers, lowers, middle, all that. We got all those rods in there, and we did touch about the iBox spring setup as well. But the CT stuff, I mean, like I said, guys, we're trying to build this machine not without a budget, but really at the end of the day, if a customer's spending a substantial amount of money on a unit like this, and I will talk about the price here in a second, you want them to have the features and again, the longevity and reliability of what they're getting, you know, what they're paying for. And with that, we don't go out here and we don't slap something on here, you know, that doesn't make more of a reliable or pleasurable machine. Yeah, people like rock lights, people like this, people like that, but at the end of the day, we're not wanting to throw $3,000 worth of pretties on there when I can put you $3,000, which it's more than that, but I can put you $3,000 worth of arms on there, and it makes you have a better experience out on the trail. And in reality, some people don't need the CT stuff. I mean, Lord knows I ride around on stock arms and I do just fine, you know, and radius rods, but I make it a point for myself to show people I can go everywhere, you know, someone else goes with all this stuff. If I just drive it right, it'll come out too. But now with this stuff here, you can drive it however you want, any way you want, and you're going to drive it out of the woods at the end of the night. So that's something we do take in consideration as well. And in the second video, like I said, stay tuned for that. It will have all this stuff with the body out of the way so you can really get a good view at it. Like I said, here you can see that the taillights are lit up. And if you look back, you'll notice the beds are pulled in and bowed in a little bit. Again, we really tried to make it as trail friendly as it can be on the East Coast. So it's not boat-tailed, obviously, where we pulled it way in because it's just not designed to do that. But we did roll it in, and then we did turn it in, trying to eliminate as big as wide a presence as we could. So, no guys, we know how to measure, we know how to level, because we'll probably get that comment, well, they're crooked. No, that was intentional to try and save some of the body work and try to, you know, make it a little more trail friendly for the East Coast. And I've seen a lot of the race trucks even do that too. When we was looking at stuff, not necessarily a Raptor body on one, but actual full-on trophy truck race, you know, the Pro 4 and stuff like that, they'll do that. They'll turn them in and pull them in and just trying to eliminate so much stuff and getting hit out on the racetrack. And this thing could definitely do that. If you want to go race it, it'll go do that. I mean, it's really set up to do whatever you want with all the suspension and stuff. Let's go back around the front and then we'll talk a little bit about the price and how you guys can, you know, get this buggy home. All right, guys, now I guess it's the ultimate question, and at the end of the day, the price. The price is what's going to sell something. I mean, it can be the coolest thing ever, but if you're paying, you know, $100,000 for it, you know, that's a lot of money. I mean, even in our eyes, as crazy as the market is, I see used machines every day going for $10,000 over retail. A used machine, $10,000 over retail because they put an audio roof on it and wheels and tires. Oh, it's decked out. No, sir, your buggy is not decked out for $10,000 over new buggy. But this one, you know, like I said, we tried to keep somewhat of a budget. I was shooting for, you know, in the 50s. Everything said and done, we wound it up at $66,649.99. So I'll tell you guys the price. It'll be in the comments down below, so you guys can see that. I probably won't post everything that we got on the buggy because there's a lot of stuff and I might have missed some of it, but I tried to go over everything. But I will get a sheet and maybe Josh will put a still picture at the end of the videos so you guys can pause it and look at all the stuff that's on there and kind of get an idea of, you know, where that cost come from. And I'll be honest, labor eats a lot of that. I mean, at the end of the day, this project probably started, I'd say close to, you know, 9-10 months ago. And with, you know, us trying to run the shop and you know, get customer builds out, this thing really just kind of got a little bit done here, a little bit done there, a little bit over here. We really didn't take away from our customers because at the end of the day, you know, you guys is what drives us to be able to let us do these videos and do these builds. The buggy is not sold. We build buggies a lot of times that aren't sold. A lot that are, but some of them we just take a wild hair and decide to build. And this is one of my projects I wanted to do after seeing a few online. So, you know, $66,649. That does include all the fees except your state tax. So, just, you know, like I said, that's where we're starting at. It's real reasonable. I've seen used ones selling for $50. You know, like I said, this is a brand new machine. Probably got 2 miles on it. Just that way we know it ain't gonna, you know, blow up. It ain't gonna do this. It ain't gonna do that, and everything else, you know, run hot or have a problem when you get it home. So, like I said, there'll be a number. Well, Josh will put it here. That's the easiest way to get a hold of sales guys on this unit, guys. It's here at the shop, and you guys can come by and look at it. We're at 600 South Hall Road in London, Kentucky. If you're building one of these buggies and you have questions, comment down below. I'll try to help. Hopefully the video series, Josh will tell me we're pretty long-winded, or I am, I guess. So it might be 3 now, and I'm sorry for that. It might be 10 minute, 10 minute, 10 minute. But we'll get there and we'll post them within 1 week, hopefully, so you don't have to wait 3 weeks to get them all. So maybe you see one on a Monday, a Wednesday, and a Friday or something. We'll try that. I know we've been extremely lagging on videos, and I apologize, but we're getting there, guys. This was a big project, though. We did want to get it out there to you guys and let you guys see what's possible through our shop and what you can do at home if you choose to do that, if you can fab. But as always, guys, stay safe out on the trails and make sure you're keeping buckled up and following the rules the best you can. Find a size factor on the contactor. No factory OEM belt. This belt with XRC or XMR. We'll start here at the front. This is a bumper we have made. Style hose, the part number we give you. We'll get this done.